माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदा यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदा यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय राधा माधव माधव राधे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Gaur Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hari Haraya Nama, Krishna Yadavaya Nama, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama, Gopal Govinda Ram Srimad Sudhana, Gopal Govinda Ram Srimad Sudhana, Giridhari Gopinath Patana Mohan. Oh Giridhari Gopinath Matana Mohan. Hari Haraye Nama, Krishna Yadavaya Nama. Yadavayo Madhavayo Keshavayo Namaha. Gopal Govindo Ram Srimad Sudha. Gopal Govindo Ram Srimad Sudha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Bolo. Oh, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga. Jai Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hare. Abateta Pavana Gaura Hare. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribhajagacharya Ashtottar Satasi Shrimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Prabhupada Anuga ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. So we are very, very fortunate to have with us His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Swami Maharaj. So I will give a brief introduction of Maharaj. So His Holiness Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Swami Maharaj, he did his schooling from Frank Anthony Public School. Eventually, he did his engineering from NIT Trichy, and he was having a great successful career in design engineering in Grindwell Norton Limited, Bangalore. Maharaj joined ISKCON in Trivandrum Temple, and when he joined, he became the temple president. So PDC as a temple president.
I joined as temple president. No new bhakta, no training.
No. So Maharaj joined in 1981-82 there in Trivandrum and immediately became the temple president and blossomed that temple.
No, I didn't become temple president. I joined as temple president. That's exactly how it was.
Joined as temple president. Yes. So, and then in 1986, Maharaj in Coimbatore, he went additionally, apart from his responsibilities at Trivandrum. So he built the whole Coimbatore project from scratch. That time there was nothing. So he was the temple president there. And then 1991, they got a rented place there. 96, they acquired a 11-acre land near airport, a prime property. And a wonderful temple is coming up there. And 2001, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the then Prime Minister of India, he came to inaugurate. And 2009, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj 60th Vyas Puja. So His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Maharaj took sannyas from Maharaj. He got initiated also by His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj in 81. And Maharaj has been serving in various capacities. He is actually a deputy GBC of ISKCON as well as chairman of International Outreach for the SPT, Strategic Planning Team for the GBC. He is also the zonal secretary for Kerala and West Tamil Nadu, where he directs the administration and institutes various measures for outreach, construction of temples, and also as a legal advisor from time to time. Maharaj is also the trustee of the ISKCON Bureau. He is chairman of SIDC. He is also a member of the RGB, director of BBT Kerala, director of Bhaktivedanta Academy. Just like we have Voice, Maharaj has a Bhaktivedanta Academy, which training education, which Srila Prabhupada wanted. So all for kids, youth, congregation, everyone. The Bhaktivedanta Academy Maharaj has instituted. And also for the youth, Maharaj has a very beautiful hostel in that premises, Ashraya Krishna Youth Refuge. So it's a 8,000 square feet nicely built hostel where many youth take shelter. Also Maharaj is building one other center in the city part where it is far from this mainland. So in that place, college students who are far from the main temple land, they can also take shelter, and the city devotees. They also have a 5-acre farmland where they will build up a farm project. Also Maharaj is heading NIT Calicut preaching. There also they have a wonderful land outside the campus of NIT Calicut. So there also devotees are preaching. So Maharaj has a great fervor for youth preaching. He is also part of our IIYC advisory committee. And also Maharaj is working on Trivandrum, as he was originally in Trivandrum. So he's taking a Trivandrum project. He is also making one Goloka retreats at Guruvayur. Guruvayur is a very great pilgrimage place. So for the pilgrims and also getaway sessions for the executives. So he's working on making Guruvayur a wonderful youth preaching place and tourist pilgrim center with museum, exhibition, restaurant at Guruvayur. So Maharaj has unlimited glories. He also has given 250 Bhagavad Gita interactives, 500 Srimad Bhagavatam capsules, 25 corporate retreats, 50 youth interactive programs. And actually Maharaj travels very, very widely all over the world to give his kind association, precious association to all the devotees all over ISKCON. So we are very, very honored that Maharaj has spared some time for all of us. Let's welcome His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj to our Radha Vrindavan Chandra Mandir by 3 times loudly chanting Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hare Krishna.
Can I? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Daivim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, Text 3. Janasya Krishnat Vimukhasya Daivat Adharmashilasya Sudukshitasya Anugrahayeha Charanti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardhanasya. Please repeat. Janasya Krishnat Vimukhasya Daivat Adharmashilasya Sudukshitasya Anugrahayeha Charanti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardhanasya. Janasya Krishnat Vimukhasya Daivat Adharmashilasya Sudukhitasya Anugrahayeha Charanti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardhanasya. Janasya Krishnat Vimukhasya Daivat Adharmashilasya Sudukhitasya अनुग्रहायेह चरन्ति नूनम् भूतानि भव्यानि जनार्दनस्य जनस्य कृष्णात् विमुखस्य दैवात् अशीलस्य सुदुःखितस्य अनुग्रहायेन चरन्ति नूनम् भूतानि भव्यानि जनार्दनस्य. Mothers, Matajis, anybody want to repeat? Janasya, of the common man, Krishnat, from the Supreme Lord, Krishna, Vimukhasya, of the one who has turned his face against the Lord, Daivat, by the influence of external energy, Adharmashilasya, of one who is engaged in irreligion, Sudukhitasya, of one who is always unhappy, Anugrahaya, due to being compassionate towards them, Iha, in this world, Charanti, wander, Nunam, certainly, Bhutani, persons, Bhavyani, great philanthropic souls, Janardhanasya, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation: O my Lord, great philanthropic souls travel on the earth on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to show compassion to the fallen souls who are averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. Purport: to be obedient to the wishes of the Supreme Lord is the natural position of every living entity. But due only to past misdeeds, a living being becomes averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord and suffers all the miseries in material existence. No one has anything to do but render devotional service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Therefore, any activity other than transcendental loving service to the Lord is more or less a rebellious action against the Supreme Will. All fruitive activity, empirical philosophy and mysticism are more or less against the sense of subordination to the Lord, and any living entity engaged in each rebellious activity is more or less condemned by the laws of material nature, which work under the subordination of the Lord. Great unalloyed devotees of the Lord are compassionate towards the fallen, and therefore they travel all over the world with the mission of bringing souls back to Godhead, back to home. Such pure devotees of the Lord carry the message of Godhead in order to deliver the fallen souls, and therefore the common man who is bewildered by the influence of the external energy of the Lord should avail himself of their association. Om Tat Sat. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanachalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gada Mahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Dinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jayasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. I am very, very happy to be here in this beautiful association of devotees in Shri Vrindavan Chandra's lotus feet and the lotus feet of Jagannath Balaram Subhadra Devi, Shri Gaurnitai and Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for this wonderful Pune experience. I am not worth everything that he spoke about. I don't know. I am simply trying to be a very small servant of all the devotees, and I seek all your blessings and your good prayers. Here is this from extract from the conversation of Vidura's talks with Maitreya. And this glorification here of great personalities, Mahatmas. O my Lord, great philanthropic souls travel the earth on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are called philanthropic souls. In the regular world, philanthropy means that you do a lot of material good to others. The haves sharing their assets with the have-nots. They feel it, they want to do it, so they are great philanthropic souls. Philos means love, anthropos means man, philanthropic means showing great love towards another human being. And I want to share with you what I have. Material things. Normally it means. But here in the Bhagavatam, when it uses the word philanthropic, it doesn't mean that they're doling out some money and some grants to people. What does it mean? What does it mean? If you thought that this is a one-way program, I'm surprising you. What does it mean? They're sharing what? Sharing Krishna consciousness. They are sharing love of God. And why so? Why? Because vimukhasya daivat. They are unfortunate. Why? They're not able to take advantage of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His great mercy, anugrahaya. They don't want to get blessed. They are lost. So they go around and they know that people are unfortunate and they share with them Krishna. This is to make them fortunate. This is how they become fortunate. Will they become wealthy? Of course they become wealthy. Because this is wealth. Krishna Bhakti is wealth. And they give it out freely. But it has no value in this world. So we don't look at it as something that will make you wealthy. To make a person fortunate, you must give him the topmost treasure. The topmost treasure is love of Krishna. And if you can give it, then he becomes very wealthy. Right? This is what we understand. But in the secular world, people don't think that is very valuable. When you ask people to chant Hare Krishna, they'll immediately ask you, will I get money? Will I get this problem solved? Will my daughter will get married? Will my son get job in Microsoft? Some of these things is what they're thinking of. What will it give me? When they ask what will it give me, they're all thinking in terms of material asset. Prabhupada once is answering one of his disciples who is coming to Prabhupada and saying how I became like this within 1.5 years. A completely transformed, changed person. My life is totally changed. I get up early in the morning, I chant Hare Krishna, I do this, I do that. I'm very busy. It's a totally different way of life. And I'm very happy. So he came to Prabhupada and said, very surprised this has happened to me, such a transformation. How did it happen? So Prabhupada turned to him with eyes filled with tears, almost moist. And he said, I brought good fortune for you. He just mentioned this to him. Exactly this, what's mentioned here. He spoke the Bhagavat. I brought you good fortune. It is not written in your horoscope. The fact that your life will change is not written in your horoscope. I brought the good fortune to you. See? So, Sukriti, Bhakti Unmukha Sukriti, that type of good that comes to you from Krishna consciousness association, that transforms you, makes you a lover of Krishna, makes you reminded of your original constitutional position, that is real fortune. That's the most costliest thing, wealthiest. And that's been given out by pure devotees of the Lord. These are the real philanthropic people. These are the real philanthropic people. They make you rich, even though you don't want to be rich that way. Chirad adattam nijagupta vittam swapremna namamritam ati udara. What did Lord Chaitanya give? Chirad adattam, something that is never before given by anybody. Nijagupta vittam, from his personal treasury, the most deep treasury, he took the best item, which he himself treasures. Nijagupta vittam, vittam means treasury. Swapremna, love for himself. Namamritam, in the form of the holy name. Ati udaraha, extremely merciful. And he gave it out. So he is the original philanthropic person. Isn't it? Very valuable. From his treasury he gave. How many of you will open your treasury and give it to everybody? Come here, jo kuch bhi road mein chal raha hai, chalo aao le lo. Treasury se de raha hu main. Jo kuch bhi. My jewels, my wife's that thing, this thing, I'm giving it free. Who will give? Krishna is giving. He is the original philanthropic person. Free. But we guys receive that, we don't know what is its value. In Tamil Nadu, they'll say, Koranga kaiyila kudutha poomalai. That means you gave a monkey a garland. What it'll do with it? It's no value for it. You shred it to pieces. In the same way, we may not have value, but it's very valuable. So you may not know that these are philanthropic souls. Why? Because you don't have value for what they give. Don't understand the value. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada went and told people it is valuable. Showed them how it is valuable. And said, I'm giving you this. Keep it. Use it. So what a big job. Right? And to whom? Insubordinate people. This whole sloka is about insubordination. The whole world is filled with people who are insubordinate to the Supreme Lord. That's why in Bhagavad Gita is telling, subordinate yourself to me. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. You must, Prabhupada says, Krishna demands it. You must have read that in the purport. Krishna demands subordination. And why? Is he Hitler disguised? Why is he demanding subordination? That part of the Bhagavad Gita people don't like. You got to be free here. Give people their space. If they want, they will subordinate themselves. But mostly people will want what? They're not going to want to subordinate to Krishna at all. They don't want. They're not going to. Only people who are bestowed with special favor, anugrahaya, by association with persons like this, will you get that type of a mercy to understand this is valuable? And you're willing to subordinate yourself because you know the value of it. I want it. What is required for that, I'm ready to do. That's when subordination comes in. Without subordination, there is no question of you getting love of God. You have to subordinate yourself to an authority. That is what is the sum and substance. The whole rehearsal of how will you subordinate yourself to Krishna is going to go on here by you subordinating yourself to Guru and Vaishnava. Hari, Guru, Vaishnava. First Vaishnava, then Guru, then only Hari. Right? So you subordinate, are you willing to subordinate? This is the most difficult thing for most people to do. Why? Because you want freedom from subordination. What is the freedom and free will and free speech that you want? Freedom from subordination to anybody. What does it really mean? I don't want to subordinate myself to Supreme Lord, Krishna. Prabhupada is speaking here. Yogis, Jnanis, Karmis, all of them are insubordinate to the Lord. One swell soup is saying that everybody is insubordinate. That's their language. Only the devotee of the Lord is subordinate to the Supreme. That's why we practice subordination. It's required to dumb ourselves sometimes. And this does not mean that you become an idiot. Prabhu, whatever you want I will do because the book says so. Subordination comes about also of a good understanding of why I am subordinating myself, what is at stake, what I'm going to get at the end of it. You're going to get something wonderful. That's why I subordinate myself. And it is worth it. Why? It's my nature to be subordinate. Mama evam shajiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. I'm a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And subordination is part of my nature. It's not something low. It is not something inferior. By being subordinate, I am awakening my original nature. I am a dependent reality. I am not independent. I cannot be a reality out of my own independence. Then there is no reality. Then you are not fixed in the original position that you are naturally. So, subordination brings me alive to my own original position, my dependent reality. Krishna is the person who is giving me shelter, and I accept that shelter. That is my original characteristic. That's part of my character, part of my nature, to be subordinate to the Supreme. Because only then my full individuality will come forth. So you're not losing anything by being subordinate to the Supreme. It's your nature to be so. And when you do that, your full personality comes out. Why? You are a dependent person. Abhijñah Swarat. There is only one person who is free. Completely free. Ekale Ishwara Krishna. Arasava Bhritya. There is one supreme person independent. Everybody else is dependent on him. They are all his servants. That is your nature. And because of that, you happily subordinate yourself to the Lord. And you are sheltered. So, a person who's undergoing training to do that has to go through some mental adjustments. And he has to know the theory very well, the knowledge very well. And he has to understand that and subordinate himself. And the person to whom you are subordinating yourself also knows this. He is not going to try to exploit your subordination to him. He knows very well he has a responsibility. To anybody who subordinates himself to you and you represent the Supreme Lord, you have a very big responsibility. You have a very big responsibility. Therefore, a person who is willing to subordinate himself has got characteristics. And even that are in different degrees and layers. Uttamaschintitim kuriyat proktakari tu madhyamaha adhamo ashraddhaya kuriyat akarto uchcharitam pituhu. You see in that pastime of Yayati and Yayati asking all his sons for his youth, you will see this, that the youngest son will say, my body belongs to you, my dear father. You can do anything you want with it. I must give it to you. Uttamas chintitam kuryat. The topmost disciple or subordinate son or anybody who knows this culture, uttama chintitam kuryat. He will, before the father asks or the guru asks, he will know what he wants and do it. He won't even make the guru ask you. He knows this is what he is wanting and he will do it. He is top class. Top class subordinate person. Uttama chintitam kuryat. He'll think and he will do before he says it. I remember once somebody glorifying Tamal Krishna Goswami, who is no more with us, that one of his godbrothers was glorifying him and telling that he's like that. Before Prabhupada will just look at him, he knows what Prabhupada wants. He will go and immediately open the window. Prabhupada wants breeze, ventilation. Prabhupada wants water. He will immediately say, poof. Prabhupada has to just look at him and he will do it. He knows what he wants. Uttamas chintitam kuryat. Very much conscious of serving the Guru. Proktakari tu madhyamaha. The next second level is, after he tells, he does. He's told, he will do. Otherwise, chup baithenge. Kyun yaar? Unnecessarily get into trouble. If he's not telling, as it is, I'm having a lot of problems subordinating myself. वो बोलने दो, हम करेंगे, नहीं तो नहीं करेंगे. चलो जब करेंगे, सोएंगे थोड़ा. रिलैक्स करेंगे. प्रोक्तकारी तो मध्यम है. बोलेंगे तो करेंगे. Right? Adhamo ashraddhaya kuriyat. Third fellow is, what to do yaar? I have to do. I accepted this particular thing. बोल के करेंगे. Must be Shani in my Jataka, must be wrong planet, must be this, must be that. बोल के cribbing and negatively he will do. Ashraddhaya kuriyat. Without faith, without a good spirit. I thought it will be available free. This you have to do, you have to work and only you will get. I wish I could get it free. Adhama is low class. Adhamo ashraddhaya kuriyat. Akartu ucharitam pituhu. Akartu means one who does not do what he is told to do. Don't talk about him, he is stool. Ucharitam pichu. Don't even talk about him, he is stool. Only three things we will talk about. One who does even before he is told. One who does after he is told. One who grudgingly does it. And fourth, we won't talk in a cultured society about such a person. If he does not do what he is told. These are levels of subordination. And the last one is insubordination. Last one is, I'll not do. Kya fayda hai? How many years I'm serving in the society, yaar. I'm chanting till froth is coming on my mouth, yaar. Love nahi mila abhi tak. And I did that. Cannot do. Ashraddha. Not interested. Fried out. Black pakora. Fried in the oil of many, many different things. So you have insubordination born out of something which is maybe sometimes legitimate. Sometimes insubordinated, directly insubordination. Ravana, no chance, I'll not do anything for him. Ramachandra. Hiranyakashipu, just you wait, I'll cut Vishnu's head and suck his blood and offer it to my brother Hiranyaksha. Just what I will do, just completely offensive, completely insubordinate. Imagine Krishna tolerating all these different types of people. No, amazing. And he's still sending his confidential devotees. Jaake kuch try, if it is possible, to get these fellows back. Written here, you see, I was very moved to see this. The Lord is more anxious to take us back into His kingdom than we can desire. He is more worried. Hey, very good news. Let him worry. I don't have to worry. ऐसा नहीं. If you're not worried, if you're not bothered about, he cannot worry. He'll worry more. At least if you're worried about this thing, then his worry is less. Right? So, akarto ucharitam pituhu, insubordination. And 3 types of subordinate people. For getting all these people together, Krishna is sending his devotee. Such a person is His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He has traveled the world with the singular purpose of whatever people do to me, whether they have value for it or not, if they do anything to me, it doesn't matter. Krishna wants them back. And these are mad people, they'll talk like that only. I'm not going to take anything they do seriously. So he went to the pits of the worst place in the world in New York and he starts his movement. He proves to the whole world, if a person wants sincerely to change people and give them the gift of love of God, it is possible. It just requires that much purity, sincerity to do it. And he did it. He gave it to everybody. And they woke up. And like I told you, what happened to me? How did I become so fortunate? Me, I gave it to you. I brought it for you. And what Prabhupada is saying is correct. It is my endeavor that has made you fortunate, and you must know it because you're not very cultured. I have to tell you this. Because you may otherwise make some other explanation, write a big book and get a Nobel Prize, which is totally wrong. This is the explanation. I did it. It is not he is puffed up. He is making you know that this is how it is because you will not know otherwise. You will not know otherwise. Just like Prabhupada was asked, Prabhupada, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He came as Lord Chaitanya. He wants to spread Prithivitya, Achachata, Nadigyan, Sarvata, Prachar, Hoive, Maranam. Why can't he do it himself? He has got such power, such energy, such everything, no? We can do it, no? Hum Zinda, Bindas. They can just sit down and enjoy. And Prabhupada turned around and took this walking stick and showed him, because he wanted me to do it. He told us. It's not that he's taking credit. He knows that is the mission and I am supposed to do it. And I go when I'm 70 years old, I have 2 heart attacks. I still do it. It's not that it was very easy for him to do. But Krishna wants him to do. Therefore I'm doing. Therefore I'm doing. Right? So bringing Krishna consciousness to everybody is also not an easy thing. But out of love for Krishna, Prabhupada is doing it. Out of love for Krishna, Prabhupada is doing. He's subordinating himself to the will of the Lord, to the will of the previous acharyas, to the will of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and performing the function of bringing Krishna consciousness to everybody. So in the shloka, greatness of such people, the misfortune of the Vimukhasya Jana is spoken about, and their insubordination. It's a too big a topic to speak about within a few minutes, and already he has taken 10 minutes for introduction, out of which, sorry. It's a big topic. Insubordination is something we are all very comfortable with. In the material world, we're all very comfortable. Don't disturb me. I like to actually chant Hare Krishna and all that. I'll do all those things, but when it comes to really surrendering to Krishna practically, that takes a long time. But all the other things I can do. It's, easy to do. So, it's very interesting that this insubordination, when Krishna comes to do his pastimes also, his devotees are insubordinate. Some of them. But it's transcendental insubordination. Jagadananda Pandit did not want to listen to what Lord Chaitanya wanted. He made sandalwood oil in Navadvip and bought it in a huge pot. Worked very hard. His mood is, apply it on Lord Chaitanya. It will smell very good. He'll be fresh and he'll be, feeling good. That's what I want. So he went and gave it to Govinda and said, make sure he uses it. Nobody talks to Jagadananda Pandit. Not even Lord Chaitanya. If he says, you got to do. Because he's filled with love for the Lord. He's loving insubordination. And Govinda does not know how to handle it. This is very difficult. So he waits for some time and then he goes and tells to Lord Chaitanya that, this Jagadananda bought sandalwood oil for you. He's asking me to use it, ask you to use it. Ah, very wonderful, he said. Wonderful. You want sannyasi to put sandalwood oil on his body and walk around? Then everybody will smell me and think this man is having association with some women. This sannyasi is having association with women. Smelling too good. They're going to say this and think, and then not only that, should I enjoy the good smell and the nice feeling and the cooling, this thing? What do you think? Better you take this oil, offer it to Jagannath, and they can make lamps, sandalwood oil lamp, and the whole atmosphere will be filled with nice smell for Lord Jagannath. Govinda thinks, I am not going to tell this to Jagadananda. Very tough to tell him. It's easy for Lord Chaitanya to say this. Who's going to face him? Right? I'm afraid of facing him. He's very insubordinate. Do what I tell you to do. So with great difficulty, he came again and asked Jagadananda, you were told? Did you apply? And he said, Lord Chaitanya said like this. What did he say? He just once he heard, that's it. Okay. He left and then he came back with a decision. He went straight inside in front of Lord Chaitanya and Govinda, took the pot and broke it on the floor. Either you take it, no giving to Jagannath also. Or it goes waste. Doesn't matter to me. It's complete insubordination actually. Total insubordination. And not willing to listen to you. It will not go to Jagannath. It will go only on your body. If not, floor. Dharti ko de do, offering. Boom. He left and he went and locked himself up in the room. I am not coming out, I am not doing anything. One day over, Lord Chaitanya very afraid of him. Because his love for him is so great, he is subordinate to Jagannath. Hum kya karenge? So he said, thoda cool hone do. 1, 2, 3 days he kept quiet. Let him cool down. Sandalwood oil should have been put on him to cool him down, but it's got wasted. Let him cool down. Like that only. He cooled down in his room. And then finally they went and told Lord Chaitanya, do something. 3 days he's not coming out. Who knows whether he's dead or alive. Do something about him. He's there and only you can tell something. He went to the door, tapped the door and said, Jagadananda, I want you to cook for me. I'm going to take my bath. I'll come back. It should be ready. He knows what to tell him. Lord Chaitanya knows. It's a love. He knows how to wake up this fellow. The same person who's insubordinate to him. So wonderfully Lord Chaitanya told, cook for me, I'm coming back. And just left. Zang, the door opened. Jagadananda came out like a spring. Get that, get this, get this. He took his bath and he started cooking. For service, love for Lord Chaitanya, you can never give a chance. For me, I don't want to eat because you did not take my sandalwood oil. But if you give me a direction again, I subordinate myself to you. He again did a fantastic cooking. His cooking is very good. And by the time Lord Chaitanya came, he had made so many preparations. Magic. He produced all these things, woo, like that. And he kept everything ready and Lord Chaitanya was happy. Now I can relate with him. Bring him back. And he sat down and he ate. And he fed Lord Chaitanya like nothing. Oh, this is so wonderful. You have cooked so nice. Oh, it's wonderful. Eat again. Eat more. Eat more. Now he can't even tell because he's afraid. If he says, I cannot eat another. Okay, again I'll go lock myself up. Aur 5 din andar jayenge hum. So he let himself free and he kept feeding. He said, this is very nice. Okay, eat it again. This cup is over. Fill it again. So afterwards he shouted and told, stop it, Jagadananda. I have already eaten enough for 10 people. I cannot eat anymore. And moreover, your cooking is so good. Especially it's so good when you are angry and you cook, it is even sweeter. took a side jab at Jagadananda also. So, loving insubordination and subordination. That's of a completely different type. And you can see that repeatedly happening in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. You will see Damodar Pandit coming and telling, don't meet that boy. तुम नहीं meet करने का, आप नहीं meet करने का है. Excuse my Hindi, I'm not a Hindi man. He said, don't meet him. Why? His mother is a very young, youthful lady, widow. And you should not. So what? I mean, he's just a boy and I want him to become Krishna conscious. You don't meet. He put a embargo. I mean, you cannot meet. Told the boy, don't come here. Get out. Don't come here and say. So Lord Chaitanya said, Damodar Pandit will correct me also. He is supreme above me. But actually the Lord was very happy with Damodar Pandit's feeling of love for the Lord. He said, I cannot tolerate it if people start talking about you. So therefore, you should not meet him. So all these are examples of insubordination, in transcendence. And it gives rasa, taste to the Lord. Right? That's of a different nature. Krishna loves it when the gopis don't listen certain things to him and do it out of love for him. Right? It gives him pleasure. So in this way we understand what is subordination and what that subordination can become. If you subordinate yourself to the will of the Lord becomes your subordinate. That is our tattva. Right? Bhaktya vashyata. The Lord comes under the control of his devotee. This is the ultimate tattva we have. You become subordinate to the Lord becomes subordinate to you. When you attain pure devotion. Om Tat Sat, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I'm sorry, I went 5 minutes ahead. There is a notice here that says 9 a.m. I'm very sorry. I got excited. Is there time for question or straight breakfast? There is time. You're in charge, huh? I just don't want you to get charged with insubordination. Okay, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, amazing lecture, one of the best lectures that I've ever heard. I wanted to know, Maharaj, you are more than twice my age, and probably you
How
have
do you know
joined.
that? I'm eternal.
And probably you have more enthusiasm than all of us combined. So how do you maintain this enthusiasm?
Because I ate yesterday prasad from here. How do you combine?
How do you maintain this enthusiasm for devotion?
Yeah, it's a reflection of all your enthusiasm. I may not be so enthusiastic back home in my place. Anyway, I'm joking. Well, I'm excited about Krishna consciousness, Kirtan, the philosophy from the Bhagavat. All these things are definitely of great value. And the fact that we are recipients of that most valuable substance of bhakti should make you hit the ceiling every day. Isn't it? I'm trying to be as close to that enthusiasm as possible. Any other question or comment? Chapandi. Yeah. You're not from the... Yeah. You want a mic?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very much for your very wonderful class. You were telling about the different levels of subordination. In that you told the second level, he will do whatever is being told. And the third level, he will do half-hearted, even doing the things grudgingly. In our practice of Krishna consciousness, sometimes it may happen, we are told certain things from our superiors or our mentors. We may struggle to do those things. But we actually want to execute it. So such kind of our practice, whether it comes in second or third.
The burden of classification is yours because I don't know the real internal feelings and the dynamics. It's not good for me to say, no, it belongs to 2 to 3. I don't know the details. You know best and your mentor knows best. But it's a genuine situation that sometimes you're endeavoring a lot. You are sincerely doing it. And your mentor can very well see that you're putting a good effort. And you may not be able to do. Successes in these endeavors is not the main point. That you actually endeavor in the right mood. What happens externally may take place, may not take place. But what is going to take place is purification. Externally, whether it is successful or not, because you endeavored from inside out, definitely you'll get the benefit of being purified. And your mentor would definitely know that and encourage you accordingly. Doesn't matter if you did not do. But certain types of services require that you have the ability to do. Then only you can do. And therefore, sometimes you need to take people who have the ability and competence to do that. Right? So you may need to match it properly. It's not that we have invested 2 crores in this building and you put in charge and you don't know how to do but you want to do. And your mentor should tolerate you and all the money is spent. Then he'll get angry with you. That is legitimate anger. Isn't it? Yeah. So I don't know the dynamics. According to the situation, time, place and circumstance, it has to be judged. Somebody else, yeah. And then you.
I have a similar question. So, from level 3, half-heartedly, how to move to level 2 or level 1, and especially if we are new to Krishna
If
consciousness.
you have to associate with people who are enthusiastically doing level 2 and 1. That's how it happens. Like none of us knew how to serve Krishna. Prabhupada gave us association through his, line of followers and books and festivals and temples and deities and everything. So we get inspired to serve. Association brings that type of inspiration. So associate yourself with those who are positively serving Prabhupada's mission. Okay? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, thank you very much for such wonderful, nice class. Maharaj, I just want
It's
to
not always nice. Once in a while it will be different.
Maharaj, I heard from you in Navadvip Parikrama about mango, that material relationship and spiritual relationship. Can you please repeat here?
How is it connected with this?
So,
I know this is the right season for mango tattva. Because I just ate some nice mangoes yesterday, given by you. Yeah, I don't remember. What is it about?
Yeah.
Isn't that mango orchard?
yeah, in Mamgachi. You,
Where Lord Chaitanya
yes.
brought.
And you were
Amgat,
telling that,
yeah.
material relationship is like mango. When we go deep into
Oh, there's in Kerala where I go around. Kerala is a different place. There is a saying that relationship is like a mango. And, it's got a hard skin. And then there's a pulp. And there's a seed. Mango gets sour when you go near the seed. Normally. Of course, you artificially pumped it up with some chemicals, it'll be sweet throughout. Even the seed can be sweet, whatever. These guys mutate everything, you don't know what is. So, but normally, mangoes, eat it and, near the pulp, they won't chew it up too much. So they say that don't go too close to a fellow, just stay on the top. In Kerala, they say, relationship is like a mango. Take out the skin and eat the pulp. Don't go too close to the seed. It'll become sour. So they say, keep relationship. That's what you're talking about? I may have said that. Yeah. But Lord Chaitanya actually gave seedless mango, skinless mango. Isn't it? If you read the pastime, the mangoes that came out were all no seed, no skin. There was only pulp. This is Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Pure pulp. Mango pulp. Oozing, dripping. with love of Godhead. Enough tattva, I think. I think I have to go and attend a marriage right now. It's time? Yeah. Any other question? One last question? Yeah.
Here word comes like vimukhas. So the people who is like away from Krishna. So in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells that if somebody is away, so we should not disturb.
If
And
somebody is?
away from, like he is not ready to accept Krishna consciousness, we should not disturb. We should not preach. And in that the duties of Madhyamadikari. So if somebody is envious, we should keep safe distance. So then how should we relate with this verse?
Well, this is why they are called philanthropic souls, Mahatmas. They know how to deal with them by their association. You can see Narada Muni's life. You can preach to a snake, make his disciple, some wild hunter in the forest who would have just killed him, just like he kills animals. He can make him soft. He can go to Chitraketu and do this. He can go to Dhruva and do. He can all sorts of people he can influence by his purity and by his devotion. That is Krishna's agent. Krishna is very dependent on his agents to do this. Because if he does, they will say, you are the one I'm against. Isn't it? So that's why Prabhupada speaks a lot about this in the Chitraketu episode. In the 6th canto, you will see that Prabhupada is saying that Krishna is dependent on his pure devotees to get other souls back to Godhead. And they are very happy to do that special seva for the Supreme Lord. So, devotees, pure devotees of the Lord like Prabhupada are very, very important nexus between the Lord and the conditioned souls. Very rarely you can see them. And they are operating. And this thing, revolution of people taking up Krishna consciousness happens. As you look at history on the back, you will see it doesn't happen always. It happened when Lord Chaitanya came, but it doesn't happen always like this. Maybe even when Lord Chaitanya came, it didn't happen so big. But Lord Chaitanya's potency is invested in this person. He's going to do it. That's the meaning of Prabhupada saying, bro, he wants me to do it. He's wanted to be done through me. Nimittamatram bhavasabhya sachin. Krishna wanted the whole war fought through the Pandavas. And he told Arjuna that, I'm wanting you to do it. You to take the credit for it. I have decided to make you. Why? You're a willing instrument. Willing instrument. So we should at least be willing instrument in the hands of Prabhupada and his followers. If not Krishna. Om Tat Sat, thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nittai Gaura Premanande.
Hare Krishna. So Maharaj gave us the pure pulp, but very short. So we are not fully satisfied. Like the mango, it needs to be tasted more. We want to taste more. So we sincerely beg Maharaj that he can come for a longer time. This time by some great Krishna special mercy on us. A marriage is organized here and many devotees from Coimbatore are also gracing us. Especially Maharaj has come. So that's why we are getting this fortune. But we request Maharaj that he can come and grace us for a longer time and give us divine association so that we all become intoxicated on this mango pulp of his association. Hare Krishna. So we thank Maharaj for his association by loudly chanting 3 times. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hare Krishna. His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj ki jai.